What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Welcome to the RNEWS Evening Show. And let's just jump into it. From r/politics, Donald Trump has at least $1 billion in debt, more than twice the amount he suggested. The negative billionaire. This article was removed earlier this morning. Forbes allows anyone to sign up to submit articles under their contributor platform, and so we remove them by default as we are unable to moderate blog platforms. This article is a Forbes staff exclusive of note, and it has been manually approved. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news, Trump files emergency request with Supreme Court to stop release of his tax returns. No other president had made such an effort not to fulfill a campaign promise. I find it hilariously pathetic that even Richard Nixon released his taxes while they were under IRS audit, because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. And yet Trump can't even rise to the Nixon standard met by every other presidential candidate. Since then, the inference from not releasing them is obvious. He's under audit. Mind you, that shouldn't make a difference at all and is almost surely a lie. But that's his claim. That's not a reason. Even the IRS said he could share his returns while under audit. Republicans love to say that if you've got nothing to hide, why are you worried? So why are you worried, Trumpy? I wonder what the emergency could be. The truth. No bigger threat to Trump in his entire life than the truth. Trump for prison 2021. Orange is kind of sus. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Oxygen supply just failed in part of the IISS, but everyone is safe so far. That's why there's always redundancy. Even leaks have happened and there wasn't a major risk, except for the collision of the Progress with Mia. But still nothing happened that time. Even leaks have happened and there wasn't a major risk. To be clear, incidentally, the ISS is actually leaking all the time. Never stops. Our seals and such are really good, but they aren't perfect and there's not really any way to make them perfect. Plus, there's so many of them and tasking someone to check them all would be a full-time job for an astronaut and just wouldn't be worth the monetary expense when it would be cheaper to just toss up an extra bottle of air now and then. This doesn't mean they don't try and minimize leaking, but the reality is you never stop leaking at least a little. All that planning ahead is thanks to the Department of Redundancy Department. It's not easy being the manager of the Department of Redundancy Department manager edit. Wow, this being my most upvoted comment, I must come forth. I stole this play on words from my mom. I'll pass the karma along to her. There is an ongoing leak they are searching for. Last I heard, they identified the leak by literally teabagging it. They let a teabag float in the middle of the module, and gradually the air currents carried it towards the opening. It was in the Russian module, and the RSA just told them to tape over it. Technically, this is not world news. Listen here. Sus. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Sadistic and Depraved, Trump rejects California request for federal disaster aid to recover from catastrophic wildfires. The stupid part is that 57% of land in CA is federal land. Trump continually blames poor forest management when much of the forest are on federal land. And his meeting with the governor and other officials a couple weeks ago was insulting to the state and scientists. Insulting scientists is one of his favorite things to do. He is insecure about his intelligence, and insults anyone he perceives to be more intelligent than himself. That's why he insults everybody. Even worse, only 3% is state land. The rest is privately owned. Is there any way I can confirm this? I don't disbelieve you. It just seems incredible that I haven't heard this before. www.gov.ca.gov. Since the federal government owns nearly 58% of California's 33 million acres of forest lands, while the state owns 3%. Joint state-federal management is crucial to California's overall forest health and wildfire resilience. Out of everything, and there is a lot, the worst thing about Trump is that he views himself as the president of the Republican states of America. The rest of the country can literally burn as far as he cares. He's literally withholding funding to his own supporters. A lot of the areas that are rural in this state are red. So he's literally spiting in the face of his own team. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news. Family members viewed long secret body camera video this week of a black man who died in Louisiana State Police custody, their attorney calling it damning footage that shows troopers choking and beating the man, repeatedly jolting him with stun guns and dragging him face down across the pavement. I feel like whenever the police come out and start defending this, another gross abuse, the reporters should ask point blank, so if this was your son or daughter, would it be okay if this happened to them? If so, just say clearly your son's daughter's name into the camera and repeat it's okay if cops did this to you. 2. I won't be upset one bit. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/news. Suspect arrested in arson at Planned Parenthood in Fort Myers. The 1980s really are back in vogue. In 2021 they will be burning Beatles LPs in case their teenage daughters are influenced by these long-haired beatniks. Well, we're on track to making abortion and gay marriage illegal again. Yeah, but apparently we can't say that out loud or the Republicans will be worried about how it's not true. Right up until it happens. Like Trump catching COVID or announcing his plans to run for a third term. More right-wing terrorism. We have to stop these people until we figure out what the hell is going on. Stand back and stand by. Quote. Just started. Conservative terrorism. I'm tired of these guys. Good to compile it all. Edit. What is conservative terrorism? Violent action to terrorize a specific demographic or further a conservative, right-wing cause such as neo-Nazism, neo-fascism, separatism, ethno-religious nationalism, or beliefs such as anti-gov patriot, sovereign citizen beliefs, anti-abortion, and tax resistance. If you know of stories or documentation or reports that fall under this category, add it to the pile. Domestic terrorism fits all the criteria. Another homegrown white terrorist. What a shocker. We need better infrastructure for schools so kids have knowledge and hope growing up. We are creating monsters. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.